What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good morning, everybody, and a very happy Sacred Sunday to each and every one of you. I am Love Coach Scott Thomas, and I want to welcome all the people that come into our Zoom room, so many of our beautiful Global Peace Tribe family, from all the way down in Ecuador, all the way up to British Columbia. And this is our third and final show. We had the same theme this week, which is all about really discovering what is our Dharma. What is our divine purpose? And then how do we live our creative expression? And I want to acknowledge that we've got people watching on as many as 150 Facebook groups and pages. A big thank you to John and Summer Raymer for right now, even as I speak, you're getting us out to all those different Facebook groups and pages. Thank you, John and Summer. Some of you are watching us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel or Alan Steinfeld's. Some of you are watching on Humanity's team, and others are watching on the Conscious Awakening Network. So wherever you're watching us, also a lot of you are watching the replay. Our statistics show that about a third of the people now watch us on replays. So whenever you're watching, from wherever you're watching. And a reminder for everybody to keep themselves muted. Because we don't need to hear you calling your husband for breakfast or whatever might be going on. So do please keep yourselves muted. You know, it's a blessing to know our divine purpose. And so I want to acknowledge all of you that currently know what your divine purpose is. And sometimes it changes. Sometimes we have several different divine purposes in life. And sometimes we're in that in-between stage where one chapter is closed and the new chapter hasn't emerged. Wherever you are, there's no right or wrong. It's just the journey of life. But today we're going to hear from and embrace people that have discovered their divine Dharma, if you will. And I want to let everybody know that Omashar is with us. And we're going to bring on our special guest in a moment. Omashar is here. Normally, I would do an opening or somebody would do an opening meditation and Omashar would play music. But we have something a little bit different in mind. You may remember from a previous show, this is Professor Alexander and Dr. Rama. They are a beautiful couple that I had the pleasure to meet in Sedona. We were at the Evolutionary Leaders meeting. It was the kickoff of the Holo movement. And they have put together an incredible program for today. And we also have, there she is, she's got her camera on now. There is one of our favorite songstresses, one of our favorite people, the lovely Tatiana Speed, coming to us from the great British Columbia. So welcome, Tatiana. with guitar in hand, which of course is wonderful. Let me tell you just a teeny bit about, and a little bit later on, Pops Mohammed is hoping to drop in and join us. Alexander is an integral philosopher, academic activist, passionate educator, and a mystic poet. He's the co-founder of Trans4M, an Academy for Integral Transformation in Geneva, and he's the co-founder of Home for Humanity in France. And that's a transformative community of integral world makers. We're going to learn all about that from him. And then he's with his beloved, Dr. Ramamani, who's also a transformational leader, a performance artist, and a peace builder. Together, they have created Home for Humanity, and this is an inclusive transcultural movement to transform our divided world into a united home for all of life on Earth. She's founded the Theater Transformation Academy and convened the Enacting Global Transformation Initiative at the University of Oxford, all about transforming the paradigm of power through the power of art and creativity. Their bios go on much more than that. They're extremely accomplished, but they have an amazing show designed and planned for us. So I'm going to turn it over to the two of you to take it away. And welcome. And you need to unmute.
Scott, thank you so much for this beautiful welcome and Omasha, and also for the beautiful convention of this meeting under this powerful meeting of living our Dharma as a creative expression. We are incredibly honored now the second time here, this time with Tatiana and Pops Mohammed from South Africa being with us very soon. And following your invitation, and as is the tradition in this beautiful awakening world, awakening the inner world show, is to connect with our Dharma, to connect with our humanity. And let us close our eyes, if you wish, for a moment and connect with this sacred purpose within us.
So the theme of today's meditation is coming home. And we know that our home begins within ourselves, with our hearts. So I light this heart earth candle light and take us into a meditation, which I will begin and Alexander will continue. I invite you, if you would like, to take your hand full of all these sensitive nerve endings, which have the power to heal, and place it on your heart, which is our direct connection to Mother Earth. And as you place it there, immediately feel how your breathing, with the very touch of your healing hand, just relaxes, and the pulses of healing, regeneration, and well-being begin to course through your body. With every breath, just feel your breath slowing down, and just whisper to yourself with your inner voice, I'm coming home. I'm coming home to my inner home, which is always beating steadily, waiting for me, ready for me. Take a few deep breaths, and as if your hand, your healing hand, is the great ear of an elephant. Listen to the deep ancestral millennium wisdom of your inner home and your heart. What is the message that your inner home gives you every day? What is a new message she might be whispering to you right now about your Dharma, about your life as a work of art, about your unique creative expression in this lifetime? With your heart, tune in to every part of your beautiful body, which is your living piece of earth, your connection to Mother Earth. Scan your life from your moment of birth to now. How have I followed my Dharma and lived my life as creative expression? And what is calling me forward now as the world awakens amidst this planetary crisis to create the emerging, inclusive, regenerative future? And then take your hand from your heart and spread it out and imagine you're reaching with your hands around you into your community, your local community where you live and work, where you fulfill your Dharma. This is your local home, the first place where you express your Dharma as creative expression. And with these hands that have been warmed by your heart, feel in, how have I lived from the moment of my birth to now, my Dharma as creative expression, within the walls of my own home, in my own garden or patio, and beyond that in my local neighborhood, my community, in the organization or movement that I have founded or that I work with or that I have worked with, in all the initiatives that I'm involved in. And now, extend your arms to full length and reach out as if you could touch all of the earth, remembering that the letters of the word earth are the same as the letters of the word heart. This great beating heart that is our earth home. Think of how what you do in your own life, in your inner home and in your local home is reflected and ripples out to have a beneficial effect on all of the earth. Put your right hand back on your heart and feel the resonance between what you do in your inner heart, your inner home, your local home, and our earth home. And feel them beat as one.
And as you feel the unifying heartbeat of your inner home, your local home, in alignment with the earth home, feel and imagine yourself in your wholeness, in your fullness, in your full expression. Imagine yourself being a circle where all of your parts are integrated and participating in the symphony that you are. Imagine your local home, where you work, where you engage in its fullness with all its parts, connecting to the symphony that it plays. And imagine your inner home and your local home now being in resonance with the fullness of the earth's home, all of us, connected as one universal symphony. One heart, one beat, one home, one heart, one beat, one home. And feel how you live your Dharma in its optimum creative expression. Om.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you so very, very much.
With this deep tuning in to our inner home, our local home, and our most beloved and beautiful earth home, which was so vividly captured in the opening video that you show on this show, which is just so captivating. We would love to just introduce a little bit what we have in store for you and the three parts, the interconnected parts that we have planned in this magnificent time we have together, the Sacred Sunday. We want to share with you a little bit our journey of living our Dharma. And as we discover, our Dharma is constantly, creatively, like our Mother Earth, seeking to make herself clearer and clearer to us. She is playing us with her divine flute, her divine instrument, and enabling us always to tune ourselves ever more to her frequency. And that's what we found in our journey. The three parts that we wanted to share today, the first part, which already began with the opening sequence, introducing us to the session and with our opening meditation, is the collective vision, the vision that brought Alexander and myself together 15 years ago, the vision that each of us had found in our lives well before we met, and how that vision, which you will experience, was so beautifully put to music by our other musical guest today, Pops Mohammed, the iconic Afro jazz musician of South Africa, the musician of the apartheid and post-apartheid period, who brought the sounds of the indigenous people of Africa to the world. That's the first part, the collective vision, and we'll see how that resonates with all of you. The second part.
The second part, following the collective vision of building a home for humanity, of working towards a new, inclusive, regenerative, joyful, inclusive Earth culture, is what we call homes for humanity. Homes as spaces of platforms of planetary regeneration across the planet, connected, working towards one goal, forming the Homes for Humanity planetary movement for regeneration. That is the second part. And the third.
And from that, just when we thought, well, we figured it out, this is our Dharma, spreading the movements of Homes for Humanity around the world, we received a vision with such synchronicity for the next 7 years of our lives, such synchronicity, Scott, because it coincided so closely with the Holo movement. And the launch, the ignition of the Holo movement, where we were fortunate to meet you and so many other evolutionary leaders. And that's the One Home journey. And that's going to be part 3. So throughout the 3 parts of the show, you're going to see how for us, art, culture, creativity, the divine power of sacred art has been vital. And so what we're going to show in each of these 3 parts of our program is how, on the one hand, Pops Muhammad, a veteran and seasoned musician who would have been with us throughout this show, but we have to share, he has been struggling with his health, with the catastrophic effects of COVID on the artist community. He is now, a bit further on in his years. And on the other hand, we have, Pops on one hand, and we have Tatiana, who has been such a gift to our Home for Humanity movement and who has composed so many beautiful songs. And as she will share, is even right now composing some new songs to accompany us right now through this performance. So let us give you let's go right into part one, the collective vision.
And talking about collective vision, Scott, I have been reflecting on this beautiful title you gave to the show. And as it is a collective vision, not just that Rama's and my life work came together to create Home for Humanity, I was thinking about the plural of Dharma. Is there something like Dharmata? And that is exactly also, I'm mentioning it because this is also what so many of us are feeling, just looking back at the Holo movement in Sedona, that there is also a time where our particular life purposes are coming together on a higher level. And that is exactly also what we experience between us as a couple, between other co-creating partners from around the world, between the Homes for Humanity. So it's in this spirit that we are also sharing the collective vision. And one thing, and having today Pops and Tatiana with us, from the very beginning, in expressing our Dharma creatively, in working with agents of transformation from around the world to find their own creative expression, in participating in future building, art played a crucial role. Art played a crucial role as a catalytic opener of that energy within us. It was so for Rama, as you're going to experience. It was so for me, as I will share a little bit through the poetry. It was so in our encounters with such incredible people like Tatiana and Pops, whom you're going to meet. And it was also for us by experiencing the wealth that we find in our different cultural expressions across the globe. We often like to say the time of the single narrative of a Western story is getting boring for the world, and actually it's getting dangerous. So we will need to bring also the cultural wealth and the energy in all its creative expression so that each of our cultures expresses its Dharma and makes its rightful contribution to the global symphony that we have been evoking.
Beautiful.
So a little bit, go for it, Scott.
Oh, she said, do you want to introduce and play this video?
Yes, let's give you a very quick background because this is the age of storytelling. So the quick background to what led us to this collective vision, which has been the foundational piece of the Homes for Humanity movement, was, on my side, growing up in India, my passion was really how to transform all of the injustices and inequalities that I grew up witnessing and experiencing as a woman growing up in India. The inhumanity that was expressed so often by people who didn't recognize how brutalizing their treatment of each other was, and the institutionalized inhumanity and injustice in our religious, our political, our economic and social systems. And that was my passion that led me into a life working on peace building, on restoring justice after war and genocide and conflict, on reshaping global governance so that it could be, humane and creative. And that's what also in my side led me to, at the ripe old age of 45, with beloved G. Houston's instigation, to discover my own creative expression, Scott. I used to be the least creative human being you could have ever known, hammering on outer change of the outer institutions, but not recognizing the wealth, the power of the inner transformation. And that's how I stumbled upon and began to develop Theater of Transformation and use that as a powerful vehicle, really using the arts to help people discover their own creativity and live their own dharma. And that was how Alexander and I came together. Alexander, from your path.
Yeah, from my parts, working for decades on using if you want transformative education to explore and work with the most innovative and pioneering cases of future building, of sustainable development, and discovering that development, that the future is not built by only focusing on economic or technological development, but we need to bring all our living and creative dimensions into wholeness. And in that exploration, together with so many others, we developed an integral model, which is, as you can see, almost like an archetypal image. You can see we are also driven by beauties, by the aesthetics of wholeness. And in this archetypal fourfold and center image, what comes together as we live our Dharma in our full creative expression is our inner humanity, our connection with nature, our connection to our own inner culture and creativity, our wisdom and knowledge is coming in, as much as our economic expression, and all of this, of course, in continuous movement. So this is the aesthetics, the transformative engine that is driving what we are calling Home for Humanity. And this you will also find expressed beautifully in the first video that we would like to show, that shares our collective vision, and that is underpinned by the music of Pops Mohammed.
So one word as you start watching this video is, this is really a collective vision that was formulated jointly when Alexander and I brought our transformative communities together. So it has been co-drafted by change makers from diverse disciplines, cultures, backgrounds, and ages, expressing the collective vision for transformation of ourselves and our world. Great. Now that Jasmine Bear is with us, we are really ready with all our non-human, vital, life-giving, energizing partners and co-creators to roll into our first video. Enjoy. And looking forward, do write in the chat what you feel about it.
What a beautiful video. I love that. That's really good. And yes, Jasmine Bear is here. She joining us, representing the animal kingdom. And I just definitely want to encourage everybody in our audience to put in your comments. I'm going to read a few comments from the audience. And I also see that Pop Mohammed has joined us, I believe. So let
Oh,
me.
he had crashed. He came in twice and disappeared. So it might be his internet. I don't know if you can text him, Alexandra or Rama.
We will.
Well, while you do that, I will read some of the comments from our audience. George Noble writes, I loved that. Dorina Joy writes, awesome message, mission, and expression. I agree with that. George says, yes, by not focusing on the natural world, but on economic and money, we are becoming idolaters, worshiping our own creations. Eleanor Joy writes, what beautiful video and music, so much gratitude. And Dia Therese writes, oh, how I love your creation. This is powerful. Yes, creating a home for humanity. And then Dia Therese says, I love what you did with the word humanity and pointing out the unity. And, you know, of course, it's World Unity Week that's coming up. In fact, we're doing the big kickoff. I'll put up my World Unity Week banner there for a minute. There we go. Kicks off next Saturday on the Awakening World. And so we're going to be doing a whole series of shows on unity. So this all kind of converges quite beautifully. We'll see if Pops is able to stay on. I just admitted him to the audience. And let's see if his internet's able to hold up. And I guess perhaps we will also bring on Tatiana if she turns on her camera.
Great. Let's go straight for Pops since his internet is weak. That sounds perfect, Scott, and it was great to hear those.
We keep like I admitted him again just now, but then he's not coming into the Zoom room. So there's something wrong.
And he responds on WhatsApp.
Me out.
Yeah, he's trying his best to be in.
But it signs me out.
We encourage him to keep trying, that we hopefully have him soon with us.
Should we resend perhaps Umashar the link to him and ask him to try
No,
again?
he's good. It's he's actually in the queue. He's already, he's in the queue 3 times now. He's trying to get in. It's not that he can't get in, it's just that it's not connecting. He's got the right link.
Okay. I mean, you know, they're having serious load shedding in South Africa. So it's a good thing for us from different parts of the world to experience that and to know how our brothers and sisters in different geographies are really feeling the impact of climate change and the planetary emergency in their daily lives, we've been having a team retreat here with 2 of our colleagues from Europe, one who was able to get her visa, a young team, one who was able to get her visa to Europe from Cameroon, but the other one from South Africa couldn't, from Zimbabwe couldn't. And he would join us on his phone or on his computer, but he would be sitting in the dark because there's no electricity, and he could join us as long as his battery lasted. And then he'd say, hey, I'm going to load up, have a quick break, and I'll be back with you in a while. So these are the realities we are facing, and it's good to have them here. As soon as he's in, we will turn to him.
He's disappeared again. I'd go to plan B for a moment, and we'll keep on.
No problem. We'll bring him in as soon as we can.
Yes. If he does appear, I'll just bring him on screen.
What I'm wondering is, because what clearly he may or may not be able to make it into the show. So what we may want to do is maybe move forward with Tatiana.
Keep going.
Yes.
Keep going. Don't worry. And anytime he comes in, we will just bring him in, because we would love everyone who's on the show and everyone who listens to it later to experience his music, because we should mention that he has gifted us for this show some of his brand new tracks that haven't even been publicly released, because he really wanted them to be available. And this time when we are all recovering from so much trauma for our own healing processes, And whenever he can, he will come in and share a little bit. But already it was beautiful, Scott, that you read out some of the comments and in the chat from our audience. And if you would even perhaps share a link to the Humanity Charter, we would love at any point, if you love the Humanity Charter, share it also in your communities and send us your feedback on how that resonates with how you live your own life, how you would like to be connected, how, that would just be wonderful for us.
Perhaps on one comment that came, which was actually very beautiful, someone said, I love what you did with the word humanity. It took us a long time, and we both love to play with words, to discover that the very term our species is carrying, humanity, is holding the word unity. For us, it's our destiny and destination, but unity with all of life, including, of course, not just the human sphere, but all expressions of life. And the other discovery we did, the word home, because this is also a show on awakening, includes the word Om. So we have it actually, it's a
Om meaning the universe and the oneness of all.
Yeah, absolutely. But so good to see Tatiana now on screen.
Great. And I think this could be a beautiful way, because is that the song we could have next? Should we already go for that? Or should we just speak a couple of...
Well, my understanding is we're going to show Tatiana's video. So Tatiana, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Everyone. It's wonderful to be here, and it's incredible to be with my dear family members. These two are family to me, and so are you, Scott. And to just find us all together is really, really, really special. And yeah, really looking forward to this whole program. It's just amazing.
Absolutely. Do you want to introduce the video that we're about to watch, Tatiana?
Sure. Yeah, well, I've been collaborating with Home for Humanity for maybe almost 2 years now, I think. And they've inspired actually many of the songs I've played on your show, Scott. And I don't know if you remember, but every time I've introduced this video you're about to see, Earth Family, I talk about the Humanity Charter and how it was inspired and written by this organization, Home for Humanity. And I've talked about Home for Humanity, and now here they are, which is incredible. And yeah, this song was actually inspired by a course that I took with Rama and Alexander. And at the end, they invited me to creatively kind of interpret their Humanity Charter document. And this document is beautiful. They've spoken about it already, and this is kind of my artistic expression of this living, beautiful document. So that is what this video is about.
Beautiful.
So before you carry on, I'd like to welcome Pops, and we may Scott.
Yeah, Pops. So welcome, Pops. We watched the first video. Does it look like your internet is going to stay with us? Can you stay with us for a few minutes?
I wonder, Scott, should we just have a talk with Pops right now so we don't take the risk, and then we could move right on to Tatiana's video right after? How does that sound to you, Scott?
That's fine. So I've removed Tatiana and I from the spotlight, and it's just you and Pops. So take it away.
Wonderful.
Fantastic, Pops.
Pops, welcome to this show. And we are so beautiful that you can join us. Pops Mohammed, legendary jazz musician from South Africa. You gave your life for the indigenous music of Africa. Pops is, by the way, also one of the Earth artists of Home for Humanity, having been honored in 2022 for his extraordinary life work in service of indigenous music of Africa, bringing it into the future. And
also, while Pops brought the past into the creation of the future through his music, he also has throughout his life, and increasingly as a respected elder, senior musician, been mentoring, championing, promoting, and helping produce the music of the stars of Southern Africa, really helping those who are in the not in very good financial positions, really helping them to have a stage and a platform, encouraging them, loving them, getting them to perform with him. So this is your genius, Pops.
Yeah, and in fact, Rama, I remember also, and Pops, in every concert that we are hearing from you, you are sharing your Dharma, your teachings, your wisdom, as well as your music. Through your music, but you often bring also, you know, your voice and your teachings into the creative space. And it would be beautiful to hear now from you how you live your passion, your purpose,
Your Dharma.
your
Yes.
Dharma, so to say, as a creative expression. Please, Pops.
First of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Well, it's a long journey, you know, if I have to actually explain my Dharma, it's going to take me up to 2 years. But my inspiration of my Dharma and the collective of beautiful people around me, people like yourself and Rama and other people, I found it in children as well. I walk in the street of Johannesburg and I find little children up to 14 years and maybe younger and say, I know you, aren't you, Pops Mohammed? And I said, yes, how do you know me? She says, oh, my dad listens to your music and I recognize your picture from the albums, you know? And those things you take seriously because these are young children, you know, who say, I'd like to become like you one day. You know, so that gives me that inspiration in keeping the tradition alive, not only the African tradition, but also trying to promote music from around the world for like-minded people like myself and the people who are watching this program. So Dharma, basically for me, it's being to be blissful. And to be blissful, it's quite a tricky thing. You know, we see the word and we think, oh, you know, but it's not easy to be blissful because blissful means that you have to be clean within your inner self. You got to first love yourself. If you want that Dharma, and if you are completely loving yourself and feeling happy, you don't have anger towards people. And you don't have to prove anything to the world. You just want to find truth. You're a searcher. And the first place where you search is in your heart. And that's where it starts. So you start cleaning up your heart, and it's not easy because you have these little things which are called Ims. You know, you're dealing with people who are saying things like, if you say to a guy, oh man, you know, I went to London last week, it was so wonderful. Oh no, you know, I went to Germany and you haven't completed the journey. So you have to get rid of all these Ims because sometimes unintentionally you do the same thing when people talk to you. So it's basically what you have to do in order to get that Dharma, to be blissful. It's a very good exercise. It's very scary to turn off the lights. Like I've turned off the lights completely in the room and I'm feeling just quite happy just to be just me and nothing around me. So it's just myself and you guys. So now to get rid of that Dharma, you get rid of the dirt, the rot in your heart. Placing a candle late at night in front of you, in front of the mirror, and you have an interview with yourself. What is your purpose in life? Why are you here? You know, why did God bring you onto earth? Because God has got 2 days that in your whole lifetime that doesn't belong to you, and you don't know when those days are going to come. There's the day that you're born and the day that you die. Those two belongs to the Almighty. And everything in between, because life journey here on earth is very small. You know, it's very, very short. We may think that it's a long time if someone lives up to 100 years, but in the year after, you will discover that it was only 2 minutes, because that is forever. So now you're trying to find your inner self. And once you've questioned yourself, the answers will come. There are some dark, dark, dark moments in your life that you don't want to discuss with anyone. Things that you've done and you feel ashamed. You may have hurt somebody and you don't know how to ask for forgiveness because this person is angry for you for life. So you question all these things, right? The day before I close my eyes, I must be friends with that person, even if you have to go down your knees. So, and as you go along, you get rid of all these eyes which you have. It's like someone walking in a tunnel and you want to get right to the top of the tunnel and it's completely dark, but right at the top, you see the tiny little light, and that's where he wants to come to. And you're climbing this ladder and you're climbing and you find these dark eyes, you know, in the darkness, trying to pull you down. They don't want you to get there. And you struggle and you struggle, you struggle, and kicking and going on and saying, I'm going there, I'm going to that light. And right at the end, you finally make it. And you're outside and you see the light, and voila, you found your Dharma. You found bliss. You found tranquility. And that inspires me, because now I know I've cleaned myself from within the self. And in that way, you don't want to impress people, but people has been actually watching you changing on a daily basis. And they would pay their respects to you because they say, oh man, this is such a lot these days. What's happening to him? So kind, you know? And people respond to that. They love that. You got to smile to people every day in order to get bliss. You got to respect little children as well in order to get bliss. You've got to respect your elders. You've got to smile to people all the time. Because one day when you leave this world, there's one thing that you will leave behind, and that is your good deeds. People will be talking about you all the time. This man used to do this and he used to do that. They'll always remember you for the good things you did. They'll remember you for the smiles every time, by talking gently to people and just loving people all the time. You don't want to impress anyone. You're just looking to find bliss, and you found the answers. And that's what's happening to me. My Dharma comes from that, from experiences, from travels throughout the world. I've basically traveled the whole world in the last 18 years or so. And I've learned so much. One of my favorite places was Kathmandu in Nepal, where I've learned so much. In Zanzibar. And I've been searching and searching and searching. And now finally here today, you're asking me the same question that I've been searching for, the answers. And if you had asked me this question 2 years ago, I wouldn't know what to say. And that's what inspired me to have my Dharma and share it with the world, share it with the children of the future, share it with the younger people, share it with the elders. And it's also good to speak to elderly people all the time, because there's where the knowledge and the wisdom comes from. They've been through them all. And I don't know if that answers your question, but that's how I find my Dharma, and that's how I inspired myself to write the kind of music that I'm writing today. And it's for like-minded people like myself, yourself, and there are millions and millions of people out there in the world who are actually looking for answers. And if we come together as one, as a family, because I believe that the whole world is one family, irrespective of your color, creed, or religion. We all come from the same source, and we have a lot in common. And that I see myself not only just as a musician, but as a messenger to carry the messages across to people. And people respond very beautifully. And then you know that you're on the right path. So Rama, Alexander, you asked me the right question at the right time when I was ready, as I did now, and able to answer your question. I don't know if that answers the question.
Pops, this was not just an answer to the question, this was an epiphany. And we have to thank Scott. He came up with this question for the last 3 shows they've had on Sacred Sunday, but how beautifully resonant it is. Thank you, Scott. Before we can say anything, how would you like to respond to what Pop said on your side? What we can say is, wow, where you ended up with your question is exactly the heart of the philosophy and the life practice of the Home for Humanity transcontinental movement, and what we are seeking to do, which is, remind the rest of the world, like those who follow your show, Scott, that we are all one family. How can we live as an earth family and transform our divided world into a united home for all of life? Scott, how was that hearing from Pops in response to your beautiful question?
Well, first of all, Pops, it's an honor to meet you. And thank you for being with us. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your decades of contributing to an awakening world, to bringing our world together, both locally and globally. I also want to acknowledge, you talk about transcontinental. Well, right now in this Zoom room alone, we have Pops in Africa, we have you in Europe, I'm in North America, and we have Dorina, who's with us, who's in Ecuador, in South America. So right here, we have 4 continents, 4 of the 7 continents represented. We might have somebody from Australia and New Zealand, because they frequently, we have a lot of guests and regulars from those areas as well. So we really are a global peace tribe. We truly are. And so, Pops, I want to be respectful of your time. So really, I think, however you want to proceed while honoring whatever limited time Pops might have is how I think we should go. There are some beautiful comments coming in. I'll read just real quickly.
Yes.
Reverend Jeffrey writes, we are all supporting the Lovolution from infinitely small to infinitely big. And Dia writes, being with you, Pops, evokes my own sense of cleanliness as I experience self-love. And George writes, thank you, Pops. As a gospel singer, I own, but forget its name, the DVD showing huge masses of Black people walking, synchronized as one, while singing in the beautiful 5-part harmony towards their white Dutch oppressors up on a stage. This was before Nelson Mandela's release. So just a few comments from some of our audience.
Yeah, may I just say something? I just wanted to connect with you, Pops. I feel you so deeply and so strongly. And I just want to thank you from the depth of my heart, because you are a torchbearer and you're such an encouragement for me to deepen myself and cleanse my heart. My name's Omar Shah, and I play music also. I just wanted to connect, and that's it. So thank you, Pops, so much. I love you so much.
And Andrew and Connie are with us, and Andrew has a message. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Andrew, and share your message to Pops.
Please.
Greetings, Pops.
Please.
I'm from Durban. I think you know Durban, my hometown where I grew up, and I'm in
Relax,
America.
sir. I'm about to go to Portland.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Just to listen to the inflection of your voice heals my heart.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, you are a homeboy from Durban.
Homeboy. Yep. My sisters are in Johannesburg. Are you in Johannesburg?
I'm actually living in Benoni, but I've
Oh,
got
in
a very
Benoni,
beautiful
okay.
place.
Yeah.
I call it Johannesburg East.
Yeah, I remember Benoni. My sisters, one is in Fourways and one is in Bryanston. Right now.
Yes,
Not far from here.
Benoni from Johannesburg could be almost an hour's drive.
Mhm.
So you're out there in Umbu's. But I've given a beautiful name to it. I always say east of Johannesburg. I'm back in my hometown. I left Benoni, I think, when I was about 18 years old. And I just returned back into Benoni just before COVID, returning back to my roots. And I'm here to rediscover myself, rediscover my roots, going to the old cinemas where I used to go when I was a kid. All those historical buildings are still there, and it brings back so many beautiful memories. And I walked to the place where I was born. The same house in which I was born still stands. And hopefully next time when we're back on the show again, I'll send the house that Dharma and Alexandra can share with you people. That's where my journey actually started, when I was 14 years old, at the very same house. So I'm very happy to know that you're from Durban, and that's why I say you're my homeboy. I feel you as I'm sitting. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to meet you.
And I'm so happy to meet you, Pops.
And wonderful to experience your wisdom. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, we have been just
Thank you so much.
fortunate in the Home for Humanity movement that our deep friendship with Pops, which dates back to so many years, has really been with us. It's been like the voice of wisdom, the voice of the past, which is needed for the future. And just listening to that interchange with your homeboy brother, I was Andrew. We were just taken back to the Trevor Huddleston Memorial Center in Sophiatown, where we had this beautiful show in Johannesburg with you last October, and awarded you the Earth Artist Award, and seeing how many people travel from all over, just be able to experience and see Pops, and how you just made us all sing and dance together at the end of the show after your performance and after receiving the award and sharing your wisdom. It was so beautiful that you truly live your Dharma. You sing it, you live it, you play it. And that's why we are so thrilled that your music is the soul of the Home for Humanity movement.
Very much.
Like
and
Tatiana's
Pops,
is.
Just as Tatiana's is.
And Enzo's from the refugee from the Democratic Republic of Congo. But it's that really that pulses through.
And Pops, as you mentioned and talked about the homeboy and about your own home, you know, for us, you are in the Homes for Humanity movement so much a walking home for humanity, helping. You talked about rediscovering roots, and that is exactly the journey of homecoming that humanity as a whole is invited to go on if we want to build a future. And I'm also want to already allude at the very end, we are going to see another video on what is called the One Home Journey, and the music will again be by Pops Mohammed, another gift of yours, of your latest song called A Tribute to the World. So you always, and we could experience you today also in your inner work and work for the world.
Should I give you tribute to the world?
Yes.
Because that, yeah.
It was your big gift of your yet unreleased song.
At Neil Solomon's studio to do the final tweaking of that song before we release them. Well, in case, I don't know if you explained to the audience that it's a song that's a tribute. I've written the song as a tribute to the people whom we have lost during COVID-19 pandemic. not just musicians, I'm talking about people from all walks of life who have lost their lives. And it started out as an instrumental. I was just messing around with the kora, and this melody keeps coming, and I'm playing and I'm playing, and I say, oh, this is beautiful. It's so completely different to all my other compositions. And I listened to it back, and I called my keyboard player, and I said to him, Max, can you please just try and play something over this kora? And he had his keyboard and he started playing pad, and it sounded so beautiful that it just reminded me of COVID-19. It's like just when we thought that things were going bad, it even became worse with COVID-19. The economy was really right down just before COVID-19, and we thought we've seen it all. We've seen all the bad things. Nothing worse can happen. And then COVID-19 happened. And that's something that we can't forget. And I think that we've all learned great lessons from COVID-19. And that lesson is we have to come together as one, because the world has become so small. 20 years ago, we wouldn't have been able to have this conversation, because of cell phones and technology. Now the world has become smaller and smaller with all the technologies that we have, using this as a platform to communicate. 20 years ago, it wasn't easy for me just to pick up the phone and call Dharma or anyone abroad. It's a mission. It was a mission. And now we have this. And this is so amazing that we can get together. So what I'm saying is, in order for us to fix the world, it's up to the politicians and the multi or trillionaires of the world. It's up to us ourselves to stand together as one for one another. You know that the biggest gift and the best gift that you can give any person is a prayer. You pray for somebody. If somebody hurts you by insulting you and things like that, and if you're going to, fight back to him, it's like always trying to kill fire with fire. Or when there's a lot of water, you want to get rid of the water, you add some more water. That doesn't help. You got to show yourself as a very humble person. Instead of talking back to him, love him, pray for him. And that's what we should be doing, and we're missing that. This is what we call the millennium. We in the new millennium, we have to start adapting the ways of what people did 1,000,000 years, 1,000 or 1,000,000 years ago. After every 1,000 years, what happened during the millennium? What did the people do? I think people got together, no matter how. So if we can all come together as one family, surely things like COVID-19 and everything and all the funny things that's happening today, it won't happen. People just have to realize that we are living in a world that is very, very pregnant. The world is giving birth to ugly things, but also giving birth to beautiful things, like this conference that we're having tonight. It's a very, very beautiful conference that the world has given birth to. And these are the tools that we should use in order to get people to live together as one of the beautiful things that Mother Earth has given us. So the world keeps giving birth to good and bad. And as you can say, there's no good without bad. There's no yes without no. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. Yes. You may have $1 million, you may have, you could be a billionaire, you have lots of money and things like that. You can only eat 3 meals a day. And yeah, you could take your wife and your family, you could take them out to the Bahamas for a holiday. But then what happens after with all that money? Because if you get ill, you get a terminal disease or anything, even your money won't be able to save you. And all the people that you have ignored because you thought that you were up there, they won't be there for you. You'll be on your own. You'll be a lonely person. You die leaving everything behind. So basically what I'm saying is, let's get together as one family with this kind of discussions and to find the Dharma within you. Find your totem spirit within you, the inner self. Sometimes people are asking, I don't want to be philosophical about this, but sometimes someone once asked that he wants to know what happens at the time of death. Now that's a very serious question. Like, I want to know what's happening at the time of death. And you start questioning yourself. Yes, what happens when you cross that path? Where are you going to? Because we all believe, well, most of us believe in the hereafter. What happens there? At that very last moment, when my last breath happened.
You know, Pop,
that's where Dharma comes in again.
What you are sharing
so the only way for us to move forward is to love one another as one family, because we are one.
Absolutely, Pops. You're sharing so much beautiful wisdom. And what I'm really taking away from all of that you're saying is that it's essential for us to really treat each other with kindness, that the most important thing in life is for us to see each other as brothers and sisters, treat each other with kindness. And I would love to play this beautiful video that you've created, that you just described. We like to share music and video on our show. So I'm going to go ahead and play the One Home Journey, and then we'll hear what you and our audience have to say.
Ngale ngoma sikhumbula zonke izihlobo zethu, imindeni yethu, nabo bonke abantu abaswelayo. Imoya yenu mayihlale ngoxolo. Qamatha anikhusele, asikhusele nathi sonke.
What a beautiful, beautiful video. Oh my. In a moment, I'm going to read a few comments. Then we'll, of course, come back to Pop. And we certainly want to include Tatiana. But you know, people have been asking how they can get Pop's music. So he has a YouTube channel. I've put the link into our chat box for the people in our Zoom room. But you know, most people are watching us on Facebook right now. And so if you go to YouTube and you put in Pops Mohammed, his last name is spelled Mohamed. And there's 56 videos from Pops, albums and singles. There's a lot of beautiful music there for us to discover from this absolute wonderful soul who clearly has spent his life creating beautiful music with beautiful themes and beautiful messages. So thank you so much, Pops, for your lifelong service.
Well, what I want to say is that the very same track that we've been listening to now has gone much more deeper because I have more poets on the track, and I should actually send Rama the update of the track. Like I said, I'm going into the studio tomorrow to do final tweaking, and that's going to be my next 7th single, which people could find on Bandcamp. And I'm also currently editing a video of all the people who took part on this particular track, which is called Tribute to the World. And I will definitely, immediately after this session, I will send them the new update of the track, which I found my Dharma. After listening to it, I even cried and I said, oh my God, I can't believe that after 4 years releasing something that I would actually achieve this. Finally found my answer and I found my Dharma when I wrote that song, because I know it comes from every part of my body and I simply had to do it. And my keyboard player, I mean, we only 2 people playing there and I just added a few sound effects. And we're already performing the song together, me and him. Here and there, just putting, promoting the tune. But within the next 2 weeks, people should look out for the release. So when you go to Bandcamp, you could find Pops Mohammed's music there as well. And I'm also thinking as well, in the next couple of weeks, I'll be putting up all the releases and all the master tapes back of the songs albums which I've recorded over the many, 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 many years. I now have the master tapes and I can be able to sell them onto Spotify and Bandcamp and other platforms like with Spotify, I don't even remember, Amazon and all those other platforms. But I believe that you had another question to ask me.
Yeah. Pops, if you don't mind, this has just been extraordinary. We didn't think with load shedding and everything, we would have you with us for so long, sharing your amazing wisdom. And what's beautiful is through everything you've shared, people have been able to tune into your profound life wisdom, into your music and into all the places they can find you, as well as knowing how your music has been accompanying our journey. We're going to now move on to what Scott has just introduced, the One Home Journey. And because time is short and we know that Scott has another show coming up on the hour, and we do want to share what is really happening in this Home for Humanity movement and how each one of you can be exactly as Pops was saying, each one of you is a vital co-creator of this regenerative, inclusive, peaceful, just, and above all, joyful, blissful future. And that's our invitation to you. We jumped over the Homes for Humanity movement, which was going to be our part 2, so we could tune directly in to Pops's music and the way he has gifted the use of this beautiful song, the tribute to the world that he composed for victims of COVID, to accompany this vision and commitment of the One Home journey, which is what we are on. And what we will do then, Alexander, is after your introduction, the performance that I was going to give, we will make that literally a journey around the world to give a taste of what this is going to be like, which I would do together with Tatiana. I believe the Earth Family song, as Tatiana said, she has already shared it on the show. So we will ask Scott if he could post it in the chat so people could watch it again and make the connection that Tatiana made with us, already before Pops jumped on. And we will go straight into some other amazing songs that she's going to share with us, as well as songs she will literally compose on the go with me in the performance.
Yeah, Pops, gratitude
that's
for your
lovely.
presence. And Pops,
Thank
know that
you.
your music, your mantra, we need to stand together as a whole, as one family, is exactly what is driving the Homes for Humanity planetary movement, is exactly what Tatiana's music is about, and is exactly what the One Home journey is about. I would love each one of you to explore the One Home journey on a deeper level, because it will be a journey that brings together Earth citizens from around the planet to work together, transforming their own homes, inner home, local home, Earth home, into platforms for planetary regeneration, standing together as one. And we're going to hear Tatiana and Rama in a moment. In between, as a creative expression of our Dharma, I will share a poem with you.
One quick thing just before Pops, as we kind of transition into Tatiana, there's so many comments that have come in. I'm just going to read only one of many comments that came in. This is from Ayada. She writes, "To you, Pops, oh my God, I was moved to tears by the beauty of this exquisite and deeply soulful tribute to Home for Humanity. Profoundly inspiring and reassuring that we are on the right track and that we will succeed as a species. Thank you." So a lot of love and appreciation to you, Pops, from
Thank
the
you.
Global Peace Tribe. We so appreciate you and your lifelong devotion to our planet.
People like that who really inspires us, because if someone that I don't know is being touched by what I do, I feel it so deeply, because I always feel when you meet people like that, it's like this person has been in my life all the time. And she finally gets to meet me, and I get to meet her. So she's part of this world. She's part of the 21st century, and she can feel and she understands what the meaning about when I said earlier on, we are all just one big family.
Absolutely.
So you are talking about doing this thing with Tanzania. As you're doing that, I'm going to give you guys a surprise as well.
Okay. All right, great. All right, well, Tatiana, thank you for your patience and putting the spotlight on you. And what would you like to share to kind of introduce your contribution today and your relationship to all of this?
Sure. Well, first, I just want to thank Pops. I mean, I've been hearing your music for a couple years now, but I've never actually had the privilege of hearing you speak. And I just want to say that I'm so moved. The depth of your spirit and the wisdom and the love that pours from you has just really touched my heart, and it's just such an honor to be in this community with you, and we're blessed today to have had the chance to hear you, so thank you so much.
You're blessed. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm looking forward.
Yeah, and I've been part of the Home for Humanity collective for a couple years, and they have inspired so much of my music. Actually, they, in talking about Dharma, have really actually been one of the major forces in my life, my gifts and my music and my heart and my soul. And you know, when I met them 2 years ago, I was still very much not coming into the world yet. And they were like, here, write a song about this. Now write a song about that.
Hmm.
We are losing this.
Hmm.
You've frozen, Tatiana. Hopefully you will be back soon.
You know, since she is frozen, I think what we're going to do, so we can at least hear from her a little bit, is I am going to go ahead and play the video she had suggested. And that way we can at least get a little bit of her while hopefully she comes back. And so let's give that a try and see how that goes. And let me get ready to pull it up. So this is
Scott, I have a suggestion that what we could do, because I think that Tatiana said particular video she was going to play, the video we were going to play of the Earth family, she has played on this show before and mentioned Home for Humanity. So my suggestion was we could put that in the box in the chat for people to listen to. I know that Tatiana will be back to accompany our performance. We were going to do a live performance for you right here. So we don't, because we only have half an hour left. So how about this, just to fill the time till she comes back, we would give our audience, just take you a little bit into the One Home journey. You've seen the video. This is going to be our Dharma for the next 7 years. We've committed. We are right now preparing the journey. We have literally been doing it till an hour ago with our youth team, with our team around the world. And you are now part of it. We would love to hear how that resonated with you, how you would like to engage, or your questions. And what we were going to do is now tune you in first, Alexander, and I was going to ask you to pat your back and get a feeling of how this One Home journey is going to be by going with me and Tatiana to a few continents around the world to visit some of the homes, to meet some of the people just like you who faced many crises in life, like the ones Pops talked about, but went within and found their power to transform their situations, their inner homes, their local homes in service of our Earth homes. So we're still hoping we can take you on that journey. But first, Alexander, if you wanted to share your poem while we wait for Tatiana to reconnect and we go into the performance.
Friends, there are many poems to share. I will share today one on home, helping us also then to open the experience that Rama and Tatiana, bring her back quickly, Scott and Omasha, are going to share. The poem is called Home. The earth is our one and only home. And so is our heart. The universe is but a single family. Life is a cosmic nest holding the whole. Outside, between, within. The dance we are invited to has moved existence since its primal hour. If danced in tune with Gaia's drum, we shall be dancing it forever. That tune is coded in each single heart. Come, let us drum that beat together. One heart, one earth, one home. Rama.
So did we get Tatiana back, or should I begin? Let me try.
Just let Tatiana in, so hopefully she'll be.
There she is.
There she is. Yay.
Wonderful. Okay, Tatiana, that's great.
Now inside.
So Tatiana, what we did is we are going literally to start the One Home journey and give people a feeling of what this journey is going to be like by traveling to some of the homes around the world, some of the homes that you yourself have gotten to know in this journey with us. And if you felt like should we just go straight into it, or would you like to start us off with a bit of the Ignite song, which you composed, which is really about how every single one of us, like yourself, can ignite the spark within us to co-create the future?
Sure, I can do like just the first verse and chorus, and then we launch into it. And yeah, this song was inspired by Home for Humanity, as so many of my songs are. And here we go. The world is changing, the world's on fire. I want to do my part to inspire change.
The original sound, Tatiana.
Oh. I want to make my home a sanctuary of love and peace and harmony, and be the change I want to see. Oh, the earth is my home, the earth is my mother. We will never have any other to help renew, rebuild, rebirth. A new way to be on earth. I wanna ignite, catalyze, take flight, burn like the sun, dispelling the night. Help humanity find its way back home. I wanna unite, stand and rise, shine bright, bring the truth into the light. Help humanity find its way back home.
Awesome.
It's so beautiful to hear your voice again, Tatiana, and to have your music. And Pops is still with us. He's applauding. So that's beautiful.
So friends, has Tatiana ignited you? If so, pack your little bag, your suitcase, and prepare yourself for the one home journey. Are you ready? Let's go. And today, because our topic is living our Dharma as creative expression, we're going to go around the world to visit just 3 homes for humanity, which show how their hosts have lived their lives as creative expression and have highlighted creativity and art as a way to bring about the awakening of our world and the creation of a regenerative future. So all bags aboard, put on your seatbelts, and let us get moving. And our first stop is in Morocco, in Casablanca. With Professor Driss Alaoui Madagri. Salam alaikum. Bonjour, mes amis du monde entier. Welcome and hello to my friends from around the whole world gathered here on this sacred Sunday. What a pleasure to be with you, and welcome to Casablanca and to my home for humanity. My name is Driss Alaoui Madagri. They say that if you carry the name Alaoui, you are a direct descendant of the Prophet. Well, be that as it may. I was born into a family where my home was a home to everyone who passed by. I became a professor of economics and then the director of the National School for Management and Economics. Sooner or later, it was inevitable that I was called to be a professor. A professor I already was, to be a minister in the government, a minister for economics, for youth, for culture. But the most important thing, my friends, was this: my paintbrush, and this, my pen. For what I truly am in my soul is a poet and an artist. And I am what I would call a réfugié poétique, a poetic refugee. When a situation fails me, like my brother Alexander, I take refuge in poetry which explains what mere words from the analytical mind never can. My friends, what I did already when I was a minister, like our friend Scott, I started a radio show and a television show. Because for me, the only point of being a politician and a minister was if we could listen to the heartbeat of the people and we could know what the people truly wanted and respond to this. And this is what my radio show did. As you can imagine, I was not the most popular minister with some of my fellow ministers and higher ups, but that did endear me to the hearts of our people. The other thing that I want to share with you. As you know, I told you that our home, the home I grew up in Fez, was a home to all people. And this was the same for me. So 25 years ago, I came up with the concept of a festival, which I simply called Come to My Home, the Come to My Home Festival. I opened the doors of our own simple family home. I invited my friends, fellow artists from across Africa, the Middle East, America, and Europe. But most important, I went, as I always do, to the ghettos, the marginalized neighborhoods in Casablanca, because you know as well as I do that the greatest talent lurks in these forgotten spaces, where young children, like those that Pops knows only too well, transform their despair and disappointments at being forgotten by society and adults into creative expression. And I found those talents and I invited them into my home. And in the home for the Come to My Home Festival, we would create music and art together. Famous musicians from around the world. And these talents, budding talents from the ghettos of Casablanca. We have held Come to My Home festivals here across Morocco, in Senegal, in Italy, in France, in the Home for Humanity campus, and around the world. Friends, it is so simple. These borders are blocking us from being who we truly are. These passports are becoming our identity, but this is not so. We are born to be free. We are born to create. We are born to take refuge in the power of art. We are born to open our hearts and open our homes to become one family and one home. So welcome and come to my home anytime. Dries Alaoui from Home for Humanity, Morocco. Shukran.
Well, that was fun.
Tatiana.
Home, come to my home. Come to my home. We open the doors, we share our food, we give our hearts. We open the doors, we share our food, we give our hearts. Oh, together we heal. Oh, together we create a new world. Come to my home. Come to my home.
As ever, Tatiana, ready to compose a song on the spur of the moment. Thank you, Tatiana. And with that, we have traveled from Morocco, past Turkey, to Switzerland. And welcome to Home for Humanity, Bern, Switzerland. Hi, hello everyone. I'm Eda Elif Tibet. You know, in Turkey, we did not have family names until our independence. At that time, our liberator Atatürk gave people the freedom to choose a last name. Can you imagine that? Choosing your own last name? I am proud of my grandfather. He chose the name Tibet. He said, I want freedom for Tibet, so let our family name be Tibet. I love it. I resonate so deeply with the people of Tibet. And I long for freedom for Tibetans and all people around the world. Let me tell you a bit about my story. As you can guess, as I'm standing next to this library of videos, I'm a filmmaker. My life began as a nomad. My grandmother was present in Mostar, Bosnia, the day that the First World War started, at the assassination of the Emperor Ferdinand. She became a refugee and came to Turkey. So being a refugee is coded in my veins and in my blood. Maybe that's why in Istanbul, when my city became this transit point for refugees fleeing catastrophes from Africa, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Syria, Iraq, they all landed up here. Looking at that dinghy, that boat, that would take them across to their dreams in Europe and beyond, Canada and North America. But here, their dreams were shattered. I met these young people and my heart's broke because I know my ancestors what it is to be a refugee, to lose your home and to have no hope, no way back to the past, no way forward to the present. That's how I met Enzo Ika, a refugee from the Congo. He was put in prison and tortured because he dared to sing songs against the war that had killed 6 million people in his country, that had raped thousands of women and pushed children into the mines to exploit resources for Western companies. For that, he was jailed and tortured and had his teeth cut out, but he kept singing. And I said, my brother Enzo, we will make a film about you. We made a film called Refugee, Here I Am. That film won so many awards, but yet Enzo could never travel outside Turkey to receive his awards. And after 15 years, he's still there. But his voice for freedom, shouting out, we are all born free and equal, still resonates in hearts around the world. That's how I met Maisa, my sister from Syria. She had fled her home as a musician and lived in refugee camps in Lebanon. She came to Turkey. In the depth of her despair, she found her Dharma as creative expression, and she created a choir with refugees from around the world and with Turkish and American citizens. And they sang songs in all languages together. We made a film called Dharma for Syria. And this film won so many awards around the world that Maisa got her visa, her Schengen visa. She was reunited with her beloved who had become a refugee in Holland. And they had a baby together and became a family again in Holland. All of that because of the power of art. But then the next was still to come. I was sitting during my PhD in Bern, Switzerland, in a Kurdish restaurant run by a Kurdish refugee from my own country, Turkey, who had been imprisoned and tortured for daring to fight for freedom. He had created a restaurant and was writing a book, a vegetarian book, and he asked me to help him with the photographs and the text. There, I met a young Kurdish refugee, Jihan. Jihan means universe, but Jihan had lost his universe. He had been teaching theater to his students in school and daring to do theater in the language of his people, in Kurdish, which was prohibited in my country, Turkey. And for this, he was tortured and in prison, sentenced. He managed to escape and come here to Switzerland, but here he lost his home. And he felt so alienated. That was until we found the Home for Humanity movement. We started to travel every weekend that we could to Home for Humanity in France. And then we had the idea to create our own Home for Humanity in Bern. We found a small communal garden where we were given small plots together with so many other people like us, lost in this alien country. Here, when Jihan began to work with his own hands and plant just as he would at home, he found his Dharma in the creativity of giving life. And with this, we founded our home for humanity here in Switzerland, where people from different backgrounds can come and reconnect with the earth and nature, where people can come and express themselves through music, through film, where new films can be made and new film festivals which show that we are creating a new narrative, our common story for our common future. That's the future of our world, for we are born free and equal, and we are creating our common story for our common future. Thank you.
No boundaries, no borders, no divisions, we are one. No boundaries, no borders, no divisions, we are one. We are born equal and free, we are born who we are. We are born equal and free, we are born who we are. I have a dream of no borders. I have a dream of no boundaries. I have a dream of freedom for all. Freedom for all. We are born equal and free. We are born who we are. We are born equal and free. We are born who we are. No boundaries, no borders, no division. We are one. No boundaries, no borders, no division. We are one.
Yay.
Welcome, 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 everyone. So good that you could make it all the way to Africa. Welcome to Cameroon. Maybe you do not know where is Cameroon. Shall I show you? Please look at your Africa map. You see Nigeria. It's a very big country. And close to that, you will find Cameroon. My country was a country of peace. But yet, a few years ago, there has been a conflict between the English-speaking Anglophone part to which I belong and the French-speaking part. And this has destroyed our country. We now have ghost towns where before our communities lived together in peace and harmony. Our boys are leaving school and falling into drugs. And the worst is that their families are encouraging them to sell drugs to bring some income home. This is why I started studying peace building, because I was concerned about the situation. Originally, my passion was biochemistry. I am the youngest of 10 children born to the 3 wives of my father, who was a driver for the white people during the colonial era. I am the only one in my family to have completed school and gone to the university for education. But right before I graduated, unfortunately, I got pregnant. And though we had such a good relationship, the moment I got pregnant, the relationship with my boyfriend completely changed. I do not want to tell you how cruel he was to me. I made the decision that I would keep my child and devote myself to giving my child a future. I had to leave university and come back home and face the shame and torture of my family and my community in my small town of Mutengeni. They said, "You thought you would become a university professor, But now you have come home with a big stomach. Go and sell fruits in the village market in order to feed your son. I did sell fruits in the village market, but I saved every penny. And I went back to university to study conflict resolution and then to get a master's in international relations. Because my dream was to create a peace-building initiative here in Mutangeni. Because my boy is now 7 years old. My nephews are 13 and 14, and soon it will be their turn to be pulled out of school and lured away into selling drugs and becoming drug addicts. But how should I do this? How should I shape an initiative that will bring our community together again when it has been torn apart by conflict? How could I shape an initiative that will bring the young boys back to the desire to learn and contribute to the future? It was then that I found the Home for Humanity movement. I had been sent by my university to a conference in Kenya, my first time to take a plane and travel across this continent, all the way from Cameroon, across to East Africa to Kenya. And there I met Professor Youssef Mahmoud, who had worked all his life for the United Nations as a peace builder and the head of peace missions across Africa, and had become an Under-Secretary General of the United Nations. He said, "My girl, I know what you need. You need to join the Home for Humanity family and meet these remarkable homes where people just like yourselves have wanted to change their community and find their purpose while contributing to the world." I took the course, the free online course on Homes for Humanity, and I too became a pioneer of planetary regeneration. As I met the other homes across Africa, in Latin America, in Asia, in the Middle East, I learned from every single one of them. I came up with an integral concept, and I called it Integral Liba Revolution. How I could bring the young boys from my community together with all the people in my community away from drugs to find the purpose of their lives, to serve our community and to serve the world. And I was so proud because when we graduated, and Tatiana was in our class too, and sang a beautiful song for our graduation. When we graduated, my initiative became a Home for Humanity, and I was invited to join the humanity team. And now I have not given up my dream to become a professor, but I will write my PhD on the One Home journey, and I will travel with this journey around the world and bring my revolution everywhere around the world. Hey, will you join us? Thank you.
That's a perfect segue for all of us to learn how we can join Home for Humanity. And the link is homeforhumanity.earth. There's the Humanity Charter. There's so many programs that they're doing. And there, of course, are our beloved friends that we've been with today, Dr. Rama Mani and Professor Alexander Schiffer. And they have quite a few other partners, including the great Jean Houston, and of course, our beloved Tatiana, and so many people from all over the world that they are collaborating with. And I really appreciate the opportunity to learn about some of your people that you've coordinated with. There's 3 stories that you told in such a beautiful theatrical way. And Pops is still with us. So that's kind of fun. And there you are. There we are. So thank you for that beautiful theatrical presentation. Thank you, Pops, for being with us. Thank you, Tatiana. And again, is there anything you want to direct people to? I'm going to go back to your website. Is there any particular place you really want to direct people to?
Our YouTube channel might be the best one, or if you could go to the blogs, right, the Earth Home Building blog, there you will find updates on where we've been. Today we are launching, yes, you'll find amazing songs. You'll find, of course, our own event of today is out there, and many links to many more videos. If we have time, there is the One Home Journey anthem that Tatiana has composed and will soon be releasing, that we may have time to hear today. And if not, the next time we are here with you.
We would love to hear that. We would love to, I think always to wrap up with a song is a wonderful way to do it.
But maybe you have another poem for us.
Well, I wanted to use this opportunity simply to, Scott, thank you and Omar Shah for opening and convening this immensely beautiful platform. And I
Pops
know
has his instruments
Pops
getting
is
ready
with
despite
us.
his backache.
So this is a deep expression of gratitude, but it is also a profound invitation to each and every one of you to connect to homeforhumanity.earth, to travel with us, the One Home Journey, Pop standing together as one family, and to gather our guts as we are doing so. And this is my concluding poem for today in bringing us together in the spirit and energy, Scott, of the beautiful show. And then let us close with Tatiana's song.
And I think Pops has also brought his instruments well, over to you.
Well, let's see what is possible. So let's gather our guts and then conclude with music. Gather our guts. Oceans and mountains are calling us to the stage of life. Forget all your scripts. Drop any wish and desire. Let it all go. The dance we are now performing has never been danced. The words we are now uttering have never been spoken. Freshness, surprise, and genius are the timeless flavors of the ever-present now. Not many have traveled this journey, this one home journey, all the way to its destination. If we do, we will turn into an overflowing well, forever greening the desert, forever greening the desert. Gather our guts, oceans and mountains are calling us on the stage of life. Tatiana?
For too long, too many people have been left homeless. For too long, we haven't seen enough progress. For too long, exiled, displaced, and alienated, people walk this earth devastated. For too long, we've lived in separation, forgotten our true nation. This earth, the home to all future generations. Cut off from life, cut off from each other, we've forgotten nature, our only mother. This disconnect is our deepest wound. Towards wholeness we must reattune. Whole life, whole person, whole systems, all cultures, one planet. If you feel this truth, let's stand for it. Let's reclaim home as the destination. Choose inclusion over separation. And build a refuge, a sanctuary, a place of being that can nurture and support all beings. Let's build a home right where we are. Let's build a home for all of us. Let's build a home for humanity. Let's build a home that nurtures all of life. It starts within. It starts with me, it starts with you. Can we turn to ourselves and see ourselves anew? What do we love? What do we cherish? For what do we stand on this beautiful planet, this sacred land? It starts with community, creation, culture. Can we build together, my sister, my brother? It starts right here, right now. Put the seeds in the ground until life springs up all around and we can walk through our garden. This home that we make, together we change humanity's fate. From the local to the global, from the I to the we, from the north to the south, from the west to the east, all cultures, all borders, all peoples, all life. We can come together and ignite a home for all to which all belong. This is the prayer, this is the song. Let's build a home right where we are. Let's build a home for all of us. Let's build a home for humanity. Let's build a home that nurtures all of life. One world, one home, one heart, one life. All peoples, all cultures now. One world, one home, one heart, one life. All peoples, all cultures now. Let's go home. We are going home. Let's go home. We are going home. From the power with to the power to, we can change and create something new. Hold the vision, hold the mission, hold the line. We are birthing a new paradigm. Homecoming, we are all becoming who we need to be to hold off this catastrophe. Down on our knees with prayers for peace for this indivisible human family. Around the world, feel the hands opening. Around the world, feel our hearts opening. Around the world, feel this movement coming. All cultures, all peoples, one planet, one home. One home, feel it now. One home, feel it now, now. One home, one family, one home.
Oh, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Tatiana. It is always such a joy to have you on our show, and of course, with your beloved friends from all over the world. And a reminder that we all want to support Tatiana, and we do that by going to her website, which is her name, TatianaSpeed.com. And that's where she provides us with videos and albums and music. I love that video. You know, I love when she does her videos on the subway or out on the streets, which is really, really fun. So join her mailing list, buy her albums, and I'm going to bring your friends on one more time. And Omashar, we have not had an Omashar song today.
Oh, you have not? Do we have time? There's no way I could top Tatiana. That was just so beautiful, and to hear it completely unplugged like that song, your spirit just shines, and it enlivens me. Thank you so much, Tatiana.
It's beautiful. We actually we're already past 12, and
Right.
but I want to thank beautiful Rama and Alexander. I'm sure we will do many co-creations in the future. Pops Mohammed, it has been just one of the great joys to meet you and to hear your wisdom and have an opportunity to just see you. And I love the juxtaposition of generations. We have multiple generations that I'm looking at right now on this screen. And Tatiana, I know that you representing the youngest and next generation, we are in good hands with your generation, carrying us forward. Absolutely. I do have one last announcement. I just really want to encourage everybody that this, our next Awakening World show, of course, is going to be Wednesday night. And we are celebrating Juneteenth, the day that we celebrate the end of slavery, although there is still a long ways we have to go to really create social justice in the world. And we have an incredible group of people, including Academy Award winning, Oscar winning actor Louis Gossett Jr. will be with us, along with our beloveds Antoinette Hall, Pato Banton, Mama Ivy, Piper Dellums. It's like an all-star evening. This is Wednesday night, June 14th. Of course, Omashar, Trish, and I will all be here. Please, let's get a lot of people watching this show. It's going to be a very, very important episode in addition to the Awakening World. And then we will roll right into World Unity Week next weekend. So thank you again, everybody, for being on the show. Please share this recording with your friends and your family. I'll be sending the recording out to everybody tomorrow morning. And that's the best way to get it because this was a beautiful show today. God's blessings. Thank you so much. Take care and happy Sacred Sunday.